G'day, welcome back. Well, seems like I've started something here, which is a good thing. I've been given another album challenge. So, yeah, the album I've been given to review is Utopia by Trevor Scott. I'll just read the comment that was made on my last video by Drake on my YouTube channel. It says, from @Opera A. Dan, I highly recommend you review the album Utopia by Trevor Scott. The production on the album is like no other modern day rap albums. It truly is a work of art. With songs sampling music from the 20th century, it sure is appealing to everyone. Some highlights from the album are songs Sirens, My Eyes, Hyena, Thank God, and Schizo. This album is not just music, it is art. Well, that sounds pretty promising, doesn't it? I've just noticed too that this album is actually in Dolby Atmos on Apple Music. I was actually going to get a copy of this album and listen to it in a higher quality, because as Opera A says, the production is pretty awesome. So, but I'm going to stick to the Apple Music. As I said, the Dolby Atmos should make it sound pretty good, and I'll see what I think of it. And don't forget to watch after this little review, because I'm going to return serve and give whoever is a fan of this album and watching this video a return challenge. And so I'm going to think of an album while I'm listening to this. Maybe one of these samples will trigger something, and it might be a sample from an album I already know. So yeah, stay tuned and we will give it a good crack. Bro, you are kidding. I'm only 20 seconds in and I've picked up one of my favourite songs straight away from one of my favourite bands. The band is Gentle Giant. This is a Gentle Giant song. Do you not understand? I bet you nobody that listens to this music or song would know this, surely. Man, you wait till the end of this clip, bang, I've picked the album straight away. That's what we're going to listen to. Now, Gentle Giant, progressive rock group from the 70s, the most complex music you'll ever hear. You need a PhD in music to understand what's going on. But Opera, man, you've got some years in music, bro. You've picked something up which is truly remarkable. So, hang on. Well, there you go. That just confirmed the Gentle Giant. You can see that name there. Second name, Derek Shulman. Mate, he is the main man in Gentle Giant. What an absolute legend he is. He's a big time record executive and producer, and bloody does everything. So man, I am blown away already. Now this first song, I'll just, I will try to get through the whole album before I come back again, but yeah, this song in Atmos sounds pretty incredible. You get the vocal effects go around the room, the bass in the subwoofers, very, very cool stuff. So let's get it going. There we go, got through Utopia by Trevor Scott. Now I'm not going to tell a lie, I did go right through to the last track. I didn't skip whole songs, but there were some songs that, yeah, were a bit too much for me, a bit too foul, you could say. The lyrics were a bit disgusting, but anyway, we'll get through that. Yeah, after that first, 30 seconds or so, when I heard, one of my songs, I couldn't believe it. I was jumping around the house like an idiot. I was going getting my sons and saying, "Come in here, this is song I know, this is a song I know." That's probably some music I'll be too scared to recommend to anybody, because it is just so complex that they wouldn't really understand it. But yeah, so anyway, I'll have more to say on that in a second when I return serve with my musical challenge. But that's a very good song. When that song kicks in, I actually did like that. Great in Atmos, things bouncing around the room and that sort of stuff. There's one song I got a big X on the song My Eyes. Didn't read that too much. As you can see, I'm not like a massive. As you can see, I'm not a rap music fan, am I? Back in the day, back in the probably early mid '80s, I did listen to all the original rap stuff like Grandmaster Flash, the message, you know, and that song did have a message. And then all the you know, the breakdance and stuff. Got into the Beastie Boys a little bit, you know, that was, you know, a lot of funny stuff in their lyrics, bit of, you know, tongue in cheek, nothing too serious. Then there was Public Enemy. Yeah, they had a, you know, serious message to get out there. Then I think it all went downhill a bit with you know, NWA, and then the 2000s hit, and you know, it all got a bit gangster stuff and got a bit nasty for me. As I said, when I was a teen, my parents were probably worried about me listening to, you know, artists like Slayer and Testament, Anthrax. But really, those lyrics, absolutely nothing compared to this sort of stuff today. So yeah, I wonder what, you know, the parents think of. Well, they probably don't ever know what their kids are listening to. But anyway, that doesn't matter. It's all music and it's all art, I suppose, as they say. But no, probably a bit too much for me anyway. But yeah, there was a song called we'll scroll down. That's how we see him, don't we? That Meltdown. Look, I didn't realise this featured Drake because I had the song going. But yeah, that is one song I did skip. I just found the lyrics disgraceful, to be honest with you. Not very nice towards women at all. So I yeah, gave that a skip. And then yeah, my son came in and said, "Oh, that's the Drake song." I said, "Oh, well, there you go, figure." So yeah, so I gave that one a skip. This one was a good song. This was just like a classic, just a song, good song. Good production, sounded great. Overall, the whole album does sonically sound awesome, especially in Dolby Atmos. There's, you know, little moments here and there where it's a very surrounding sound. It's coming from you from above and from behind you. The bass is awesome. So that sort of things, all production and sonically, excellent stuff. Yeah, I definitely did give that song a skip. Probably got through about a minute of it. Pretty disgraceful lyrics, so we won't dwell on that too much. And then it sort of you know, it gets all a bit samey, I suppose. After this, you know, I'm finding in all these rap songs, you know, it's like 3 lines, then they have a bit of a beat, 3 lines, 3 lines, 3 lines. It's just boom, 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 boom. So it's all very, very samey after a while, isn't it? And so I think up to, how many tracks are there? 19 tracks is a bit too much. Once again, that could have been condensed to, you know, probably 11 or 12 tracks. Would have been much better. But all up, as I said, tonically and audio-wise, it's excellent. That's why I was able to get right through it, the whole album. Of course, it is always, you know, very pleasing to the ears, as they say. So now for our challenge, that first, you know, 30 seconds or so of the first track, Gentle Giant from Proclamation. You know, one of my favourite bands of all time. I got into them. I didn't get into them till, you know, they're band from the 70s. I didn't get into them around, I got probably about the mid-90s when I got into a musical style called progressive rock. And yeah, and I just discovered that these are one of the leaders in that movement. But yeah, this is from the album called The Power and the Glory. Not probably, you know, not one of my absolute favourite Gentle Giant albums. So we're not going to listen to that. We're going to listen to something else. Okay, so here's the Gentle Giant albums on Apple Music. They're not really in very good order here. But yeah, there's The Power and the Glory. That's where that comes from. Proclamation. But let's try. There's our first album, 1970. These are all great. Free Hand. That's what I'm looking at. Probably Octopus. If we go up a bit higher, probably Three Friends and Octopus are my 2 favourite Gentle Giant albums. But we are going to go to, this is a bit more accessible. Going to go to Free Hand. So that's our musical challenge for anybody that's into this Travis Scott album. especially that first 20 or 30 seconds. This is where this comes from. Yeah, you'll definitely notice the singing voice straight away. That's the Shulman brothers are on this, and there's just incredible music. You hear that counterpoint lyric style where different members of the bands will sing different parts of the song, and it all blends together. Just remember, this is from 1975, so absolutely no computer trickery stuff going on. This is just all pure instrumentation and mixing and just pure skill, to be honest with you. But yeah, so it's not too long. You're not going to be sitting down for an hour and a half, whatever. And probably just Mobile is the last track off the album. So yeah, just the same. That's what I thought originally that Travis Scott song was, but then I had to really delve into the old memory bank and then realise it was Proclamation from Pound and Glory. On reflection, Free Hand is a killer. They're all just great songs. I've also got this. It has also been released on Blu-ray in Dolby Atmos, and this sounds just absolutely incredible. This will just blow you away. This is just constant stuff swirling around the room all the time. Yeah, of course, there's just so many, instruments involved, and always something going on, always changing. This is just blow your absolute socks off. This will, but yeah. So please, listen to the Gentle Giant. Free Hand. Write in the comments what you think. You can be brutally honest. That's no drama. And yeah, hopefully we can get through the whole album. And hopefully you enjoy it. Till next time. See you later.